Imagine that within the next hour, your life could take an unexpected turn and everything you've hoped for, be it financial prosperity, true love, new horizons, or long-awaited healing, will become a reality, not sometime in the future, but here and now. This isn't just a guess or a pipe dream, but a clear, time-tested mechanism that has already helped thousands of people bring their most cherished desires to life. What if you cast aside all doubts and start acting? Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right age, favorable circumstances, or a sign from fate. But what if this waiting is unnecessary? What if the ability to create your reality is already inherent in each of us and only a slight shift in consciousness is required to activate it? This isn't about passively waiting for a miracle or creating illusions. It's not just repeating positive affirmations that you don't believe in yourself. It's something far more effective, a method that has proven its effectiveness in practice. People who have mastered this approach see results within minutes, not months or years. There is a specific reason why some people seem to effortlessly attract success, love, and financial stability, while others struggle with difficulties for years without seeing any improvement. What's the secret behind this difference? Success isn't just a lucky coincidence or the result of the universe's special favor towards a select few. Rather, it's a consequence of a deep understanding of the laws that govern reality. As an illustration, consider placing an online order with next-day delivery. After making the purchase, the person doesn't experience anxiety or doubts about the timeliness of the delivery. They don't waste time on fruitless waiting and endlessly refreshing the tracking page. Instead, they are simply confident that the order is on its way. It is this unwavering confidence that is a key element in the process of materializing what is desired. Many people, on the other hand, allow their doubts and anxieties to take over, constantly wondering when the desired event will occur. However, it is these doubts that become the main obstacle to the realization of the plan. It's important not just to wait, but to know firmly that what is desired is already on its way. It is necessary to bring one's internal energy into full alignment with the desired outcome, so that reality has no choice but to adapt to this alignment. For a long time, the process of materializing what is desired was presented as something complex and requiring many years of practice. However, in reality, everything is much simpler. Materialization happens instantly at the very moment when a person changes their internal state. There is a specific method to do this, and by mastering it, a person will be able to observe events unfolding with unprecedented speed. The era of transformation has arrived. It doesn't matter when these words reached your ears, for the hour has come. Being here is no accident. The object of aspirations is already heading to meet you, and today rights will be claimed on it. The mind is like a navigator in a car. Once the final destination is set, the system calculates the optimal route and guides step by step, without questioning the achievement of the goal, but simply following the coordinates. In the event of a wrong turn, recalibration occurs. Adjustment of thoughts, actions, and perception begins in accordance with the desired outcome. The main thing is to trust the process and not lose sight of the final point. Similarly, the mind functions. If there is confidence that something will take years to achieve, the brain organizes all thoughts, actions, and even external circumstances in such a way that it takes exactly that long. It's not about luck, not about effort, but about the peculiarities of brain programming. Most people, without realizing it, put limitations on the speed of achieving what they want. They are convinced that success requires many years of struggle, relationships need time to develop, and financial freedom is achievable only after decades of hard work. But these are just mental attitudes that have no real basis. The truth is that reality adjusts to the level of confidence. If there is a belief that something will take years, so it will be. If, on the other hand, there is a conviction that it can happen in a few days, then so it will. The human brain, like a chronicle of bygone days, often causes individuals to continue to be guided by thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that were formed long ago. However, as soon as a person frees himself from the shackles of the past and enters the uncharted territory of a new state of being, unprecedented opportunities open up before him. Quantum physics, in turn, asserts that all potential realities already exist, waiting for their hour. The version of each person that possesses everything they desire is already real and merely awaits the moment of connection. Consider the phenomenon of healing from illnesses. There are frequent cases where doctors' prognoses of a multi-month recovery period are refuted by patients who recover in a matter of weeks. Why? Because healing does not always adhere to temporal frameworks, but rather depends on faith, energy, and unwavering certainty. Research indicates that patients who took placebo pills, convinced of their healing power, demonstrated physiological reactions analogous to those observed when taking actual medication. In this context, the expectations of the mind triumph over physical reality. A similar principle applies to the manifestation of desires. Time, contrary to popular belief, is not an immutable law in the creative process. It possesses flexibility, receptivity, and the ability to adapt to a person's level of confidence. Surely everyone has noticed how some people manage to realize their opportunities effortlessly. The secret lies not in luck, but in the absence of doubt. There are people whose ambitions are not limited by standard time frames. They live with the conviction that what they desire should happen not sometime in the future, but here and now. Through their unwavering faith, they force the surrounding world to adapt to their beliefs. History knows many instances where people achieved the seemingly impossible simply because they refused to accept generally accepted deadlines. Recall the person who is suddenly offered their dream job just days after making a firm decision to change careers, or the athlete who, against doctors' predictions, recovers rapidly from a severe injury, or the person who meets their soulmate precisely when they stop desperately searching for them. All these events occur not by chance, but as a result of inner harmony and confidence. The past has no power over the future unless one allows it to. The fact that it took years to achieve something in the past does not mean that it will take the same amount of time in the future. The speed of realization depends solely on the degree of confidence in its achievement. When a person sincerely believes that what they desire is happening now, not sometime later, their inner energy transforms. They enter the reality where what they desire already exists. And here, a simple but powerful truth unfolds. The most effective tool for embodying what is desired into reality is not a complex technique, ritual, or set of instructions. It is about a specific state of consciousness, an unwavering conviction that what is desired has already been brought to life. This is not just hope or longing, but a firm knowledge, a certainty in the accomplished fact. When a person declares with absolute conviction, "I am certain," something far greater than merely uttering words occurs. They enter a state of being where their aspirations cease to be an ephemeral possibility, transforming into a tangible reality. This is the key point that is often overlooked when striving for the realization of desires. Many view their dreams as something requiring constant pursuit, as something located somewhere in the distant future. However, in essence, the feeling of unattainability arises only when the mind has not yet fully accepted what is desired as an accomplished fact. The quantum field reacts not to the desires themselves, but to the internal state of the person. If an individual perceives themselves as waiting for something, they will continue to remain in a state of waiting. However, if a transformation of personality occurs and the person begins to feel like the possessor of what is desired, reality will begin to reflect this new identity. At the moment of achieving absolute certainty, when expectation is replaced by knowledge, reality adjusts to this new frequency of vibrations. How does self-confidence actually manifest? Imagine a situation in life where there is no room for doubt, such as knowing your name. If someone were to suddenly inquire whether that name truly belongs to you, the answer would follow immediately and without hesitation. There would be no need to repeat affirmations or present your name to ensure its reality. It is simply knowledge that requires no proof. It is precisely this level of unwavering faith that is necessary for the realization of desires. However, most people do not achieve this certainty because they subconsciously allow doubts. They express hope for the fulfillment of a desire or a strong aspiration towards it, but deep down they continue to doubt. It is this uncertainty that slows down the process of embodying the conceived into reality. The quantum field, like a mirror, reflects the inner world of a person. The stronger the faith, the faster the response in reality. With 50% confidence, the results will be ambiguous, but when confidence reaches 100%, changes occur instantly. Consider the importance of a 1-hour time frame. This isn't a random choice, but a principle rooted in how the mind operates. If you set a deadline of 1 year for a desire to manifest, the logical mind has ample time to sow seeds of doubt, contemplate the possibility of realization, and analyze reasons why it might not happen. This mental resistance slows down the process. However, 1 hour is short enough that the mind doesn't have time to sabotage efforts. There's no time for re-evaluation or doubt, only anticipation of the desire's fulfillment. It's this anticipation that plays a crucial role. Imagine a farm where rows of diverse crops are carefully planted. Once the seeds are in the ground, no farmer would disturb the soil daily to check their growth. They fully rely on the natural process, providing the plants with necessary water and sunlight, allowing nature to do its work unimpeded. Manifestation of desires works on a similar principle. However, in practice, most people struggle to fully trust this process. They plant the seeds of their aspirations, but then succumb to worry, doubt, and constant questions about whether their intention will come to fruition. This impatience, like a weed, stifles the sprouts. The key is to sow your intention with unwavering confidence and then allow it to develop freely. Just as a farmer trusts the changing seasons, the human subconscious doesn't distinguish clearly between the imagined and the real. When an individual genuinely believes in something, their body reacts as if it has already happened. The brain begins to produce certain chemicals, the emotional state changes, and the energetic field aligns with the desired reality. This is why people who are constantly stressed and anxious tend to attract more situations that trigger similar negative emotions. They live in the emotional field of their fears. However, when a person learns to inhabit the emotional state of their desires, those desires begin to manifest in their life without additional effort. Let's consider the phenomenon known as the state of flow, a moment when all the pieces of reality seem to fall perfectly into place. This state is characterized by an absence of struggle and coercion, where events unfold with surprising ease and effortlessness. It's in this state that manifestation of desires occurs with maximum speed and efficiency. Most people, striving to achieve their goals, fall into extremes. Some overexert themselves, trying to force their way to success, obsessively controlling every minute detail. Others, on the contrary, take a passive stance, remaining inactive and waiting for changes to happen on their own. However, the true secret lies in maintaining balance, in finding the golden mean between active action and acceptance of the inevitable. It's about a deep awareness that the desired already exists in potential, while remaining open to various paths of its realization. Imagine the process of launching a kite. If you pull too hard on the string trying to control its every move, the kite won't fly, it will fight the wind and eventually fall. But if you find the right balance, guiding its flight and allowing the wind to carry it upwards, the kite will rise into the sky without any effort. The process of manifestation works similarly. When a person genuinely believes that the universe is already arranging all circumstances in the best way, there's no need for excessive control and obsessive thoughts. They simply tune into the wave of universal harmony, and everything starts to fall into place as if by magic. This is the golden mean between conscious intention and complete surrender. A person sets their desire in motion, reinforcing it with unwavering faith, and then allows the universe to guide them towards the goal, trusting its wisdom and limitless possibilities. So, how do you gain unwavering confidence in the abilities of your mind? Public opinion tends to suggest that achieving something requires a significant amount of time. Many believe that the path to success is measured in years. Healing, in decades, and financial stability is the prerogative of the chosen few. However, these perceptions are nothing more than mental installations that can be reprogrammed. The principle of neuroplasticity underlies this. the brain's amazing ability to rebuild itself. By strengthening a particular belief, a person strengthens the corresponding neural connection, thus constantly repeating the thought that any endeavor requires a lot of time actually paves a path in the brain, making that thought a reality. If you persistently cultivate a belief in the rapid achievement of goals, the brain adapts to this new paradigm. Outstanding athletes serve as an example. They not only rigorously train their bodies but also actively work on their mindset. By visualizing their triumph with utmost clarity, they activate the same neurons in the brain that are engaged during actual physical exertion. This is why the best of the best achieve results faster than others. They experience their success in their minds long before it manifests in reality. This approach is accessible to everyone. The more distinctly a person envisions themselves as someone who effortlessly achieves their desires, the quicker it becomes their reality. What happens when a person makes a firm decision here and now that their aspirations have already materialized? Not sometime in the distant future, but at this very moment. The instant they shed doubts and hesitations, when they cease languishing in anticipation and begin to possess unwavering confidence, they significantly accelerate the process of realizing their intentions. It's crucial to understand that the universe doesn't operate within temporal constraints, but according to the principle of correspondence. The only barrier standing between a person and their dreams is the degree of their own conviction. Once they master this art, the process of manifestation ceases to pose any difficulties. Let's consider this matter from a different angle to fundamentally alter our perspective on the process of manifestation and the state of flow. Many mistakenly believe that manifestation consists of active actions, repeatedly reciting affirmations, engaging in prolonged visualization, or performing specific steps. However, the truth lies not in what a person does, but in who they are at this very moment. When in a state of flow, they cease to be someone waiting for their desires to be fulfilled. They have already transformed into the person who possesses everything they need. In their consciousness, there is no longer room for doubts, hesitations, or questions about the feasibility of their intentions. In their mind, it has already happened, and therefore it will inevitably happen in real life. When an individual fully embodies this new state of being, their brain and body perceive this state as an existing reality. This is not merely a theoretical representation, but a profound neurological and energetic transformation that fundamentally restructures the entirety of a person's perceived reality. Imagine the process of turning on a light in a room. A person doesn't doubt whether the light bulb will illuminate, nor do they worry about the reliability of the power supply. They simply flip the switch, confident that the room will be filled with light. This unwavering confidence is a key element of manifestation. When a person reaches this level of conviction, their desires become inevitable. They cease to be mere objects of aspiration and transform into already activated realities that the universe inevitably realizes. These are not just abstract concepts. Many people practically experience tangible results by applying this process, often achieving goals that seem impossible from the perspective of conventional logic. The quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are. This is why transforming one's own identity is the most powerful tool in achieving desired outcomes. When a person enters a state of absolute certainty, the external world is compelled to reflect this internal state. Consider the example of a person striving for an opportunity that seems unattainable. All objective factors may indicate impossibility, but the quantum field operates not with logic, but with energy. When a person transitions into a state of certainty, events begin to unfold unpredictably. Suppose someone is searching for their dream apartment in a city where the real estate market is oversaturated. Real estate agents claim that there are no available options. Most people in such a situation would give up, considering the task impossible. However, by applying the described technique, the person doesn't focus on the scarcity, but tunes into the reality of living in an ideal space. They declare this with absolute certainty, and suddenly something incredible happens. Someone unexpectedly moves out, a hidden listing appears, or a connection is established that leads directly to the desired property. Circumstances change because the person's energetic alignment changes. And this applies not only to material possessions. This principle works in relationships, in professional opportunities, and even in situations where seemingly impossible changes occur in people's lives. Scientific studies convincingly demonstrate that the human brain remarkably does not distinguish between vivid images born in the imagination and genuine life experiences. When a person focuses on a specific thought, reinforcing it with strong emotions, their body begins to perceive that thought as an accomplished fact. As a result, the energy field is transformed, and the surrounding world begins to adapt to this new reality. On a scientific level, this phenomenon is explained as follows. When a person is tormented by doubts or overwhelmed by vague hopes, the areas in their brain responsible for feelings of fear and uncertainty are activated. In essence, they are only reinforcing the absence of what they desire in their consciousness. However, when a person attains a state of absolute certainty, their brain shifts into a fundamentally different mode of operation. Advanced neuroimaging techniques show that when an individual believes in something with unwavering conviction, radical changes occur in their brain activity. The centers responsible for doubts and fears seem to quiet down, and the brain begins to function as if the desired reality has already become a fact. This process is not limited to the mental level, it extends to the electromagnetic field surrounding the person. The energy field transmits specific signals into the quantum space, and the universe responds, reflecting everything that the person projects. If the field is filled with doubts, hesitations, or anxious anticipation, the quantum field only amplifies these states. But when the energy radiates confidence, everything in the surrounding reality begins to align with that frequency. That's why some people seem to effortlessly attract success, favorable opportunities, and amazing coincidences. They don't exert more effort than others, nor do they possess any special intellectual abilities or luck. They have simply mastered the art of certainty. These people live as if their most cherished desires have already come true, and therefore reality adjusts, bringing their dreams to life. Let's imagine for a moment that a person decides to apply this principle immediately, here and now. Without delay, they immerse themselves in a state of absolute certainty that their cherished desires are already on their way to realization. If they manage to maintain this state for at least an hour, they will witness amazing changes happening around them. As soon as anticipation is replaced by unwavering faith, they gain unprecedented power. The transition to absolute certainty entails striking changes not only in thinking, but also in physiology. Brain waves shift into the gamma state, which is usually observed in experienced monks and meditation masters who have devoted years to training the mind. This is not just a speculative theory, but a scientifically proven fact. In this state, the brain operates with maximum efficiency, establishing strong connections, processing information with incredible speed, and, most importantly, harmonizing all aspects of the personality with the desired outcome. Imagine something you are absolutely certain of, something so unshakable that doubts simply don't arise. Take, for example, the sunrise tomorrow, the force of gravity firmly holding us to the Earth's surface, or your own name when someone addresses you. In moments of contemplating these things, anxiety and doubt recede, giving way to unwavering confidence. The body remains relaxed, the mind is calm. There is only knowledge. Now imagine that this same degree of certainty can be transferred to your most cherished desires. Instead of anxious anticipation, passionate desire, or bitter longing, a person transitions to a state where the fulfillment of their plan becomes inevitable. This is the key. The difference between hope and knowledge may seem subtle, but in reality, it is colossal. When a person is full of hope, they subconsciously allow for the possibility of failure, creating two scenarios, one with triumph, the other with defeat. However, when a person reaches a state of absolute certainty, all alternative paths of development are closed. The only possible outcome is the one that has already been affirmed as reality, and this becomes a law of physics. Amazing discoveries in quantum physics convincingly demonstrate that the very act of observation can transform reality. At the very moment when a person with unwavering faith focuses on the desired result, that result seems to be fixed in the invisible field of possibilities. This phenomenon is also reflected at the biological level. The nervous system comes into a state of harmony, and heart rate variability improves, indicating the achievement of inner balance. The level of stress hormones decreases, which means the body is out of the heightened fight or flight readiness mode. Thus, an ideal internal environment is created, conducive to the realization of the intended plan. After all, stress and internal resistance block the energy needed to attract what is desired. However, there's one crucial nuance. Once you've declared your confidence, let it remain unshaken. This doesn't mean you need to check your phone or email every minute, waiting for a sign. Imagine you ordered a package with next-day delivery. You don't refresh the tracking page every 5 seconds, do you? No, because you're absolutely certain the package is on its way. The same principle applies to manifestation. Constant checking indicates that you're actually in a state of doubt, not confidence. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own manifestations by becoming obsessed with them. They claim to believe in success, but they constantly seek proof, thereby sending the universe a signal of their uncertainty. When you truly know that something is inevitably going to happen, you don't need any proof. There's no need to dwell on it. You simply continue living your life, fully trusting that what you desire is already in the process of becoming reality. Keeping the manifestation process private is paramount. During this sacred period of unwavering faith, it's crucial to refrain from disclosing your aspirations to others. The reason lies in the potential impact of others' doubts, limiting beliefs, and negative energy, which can undermine your confidence. Even people with the best intentions may inadvertently project their own fears onto your desires, asking questions, issuing warnings, and making remarks that sow seeds of doubt in your mind. Therefore, it's essential to protect your energy and confidence by keeping your intentions private between yourself and the universe. This doesn't mean isolating yourself in silence or meditating for hours. On the contrary, it's recommended to continue engaging in everyday activities. When someone genuinely believes that their wish has already been fulfilled, they don't put their life on hold while waiting for it to happen. They continue to live, knowing that the process is already well underway. As an example, consider breathing. No one doubts whether the next breath will come. There's an unwavering certainty that it will happen, so you don't even think about it. It's this natural level of confidence that you should strive for in the manifestation process. Don't postpone it. The perfect moment may never come. You need to use this strategy immediately, gaining unwavering confidence here and now. Let it be something significant or insignificant. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to declare your intention. As you go about your day, remember that the universe is already taking care of realizing your plan. As soon as doubt disappears, waiting ceases, and knowledge replaces hope, the world transforms, events accelerate, and circumstances unfold in the most incredible way. The reality is that everyone possesses far more power than they've been led to believe. Thoughts, energy, and confidence shape the surrounding reality, which is incomprehensible to most people. A person isn't born to lead an endless struggle, languish in anticipation, or hope for changes in the future. Their purpose is to create, unleash their potential, and assert their right to the life that is rightfully theirs by birth. So, from this moment on, make a firm decision. Enough of doubts, hesitations, and uncertainties. You should walk through life with the awareness that what you desire is already rushing towards you. You need to act with confidence that all circumstances are unfolding in the best possible way. Because when a person radiates such unwavering confidence, the universe has no choice but to reciprocate.